So, as we know, Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna when Arjuna becomes a very depressed soul, becomes very anxious and he doesn't know what to do. So, he wants to quit the battlefield and he wants to quit and uh, he starts convincing Krishna that it's not wise to fight with our own people. So Krishna brings him out of that, and in that process, ma'am, if you can mute your this one. So he brings him out of that grief with proper knowledge. So there is empathy, there is also compassion, and Krishna wants to give him Krishna wants to give him proper knowledge. Uh, Madam, ಏನು ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ? Can you please mute it, madam?
Sorry.
Yeah, no issues.
Mute myself.
So, ಏನಂದ್ರೆ when somebody wants to bring somebody out of their sorrows or misery, or even when we as a friend, when we want to do, not everybody accepts the suggestions or advices. They only want to be heard, actually. So Krishna also does that. He hears him completely, but he wants to advise, but he will not um, he will tell him, he will not immediately say, come, let's fight, this is not done, ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. He will take him gradually, making him understand the situation. And then Arjuna, it comes from within Arjuna that he should fight. So whenever people take actions, when they do it on their own, they understand and then they do it on their own, that brings them wisdom and they never regret. But on the contrary, nobody does against their will also. Likewise, but here the what I'm trying to say is, when we advise somebody, we should not expect that they will immediately take our suggestion and they will act. It will never happen. One must go down, be empathetic, understand their problem, feel their problem, and then gradually we have to bring them to one particular thing which we feel okay, and then leave it to them to take a call. Similarly, Krishna takes Arjuna step by step, and now he has talked about what is bhakti, devotion, what is karma, and why it makes sense to not worry about killing them. Because when you do your dharma, you need to be very objective, not emotional. You should be very practical with wisdom. Be practical, be sita prajna, but with wisdom. Try to understand in the right perspective and give up your delusion or moha. Moha comes with too much of attachment. It will cloud our vision. We will not be able to see clearly. Therefore, we will not be able to take decision. So Arjuna has brought him out to some extent. Still, it is going on. In this shloka, Purushottama Yoga, it is called, chapter 15, Purushottama Yoga. So again, it talks about him as the supreme, but the approach is very interesting. How he talks about this samsara or this worldly life, he compares it to a tree. And then how, taking the example of Ashwatha tree, fig tree, people tree, he starts talking about how a man evolves himself in different births based on his gunas, his knowledge. So it is carry over from the previous chapter in a way, but explanation is given in a different but very interesting way. So this is called Purushottama Yoga. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Urdhva Shakham Ashwatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavid. That is the first one. अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखा गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्माणुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके. So here Krishna says, Urdhva Mula. Urdhva is up. Urdhva. Roots. Urdhva Mula. Mula means roots. Uh, Adha Shakham. Adha means Shakha is branches, branching below. Uh, they speak of Ashwatham Prahu Ravya. Prahu means people say Ashwatham Prahu Ravyayam. That means people say there is one Ashwatha Vriksha. They speak of an Ashwatha tree which has the roots above and the branches below, and it is avyaya, means imperishable, eternal. And Chandamsi Yasya Paranan. Chanda means Vedas. Vedas are also called as Chandas based on the grammatical arrangement. Chandamsi Yasya Parnani. The leaves of this tree are said to be the Vedas, and Yastam Vedasa Vedavid. And one who knows it is a Veda knower. We will describe this shloka in detail, but literal meaning I'm telling. Then the next shloka says, below and above. Adhascha urdhvam prasrutaha tasya shakha. Shakha is branch. Tasya means its. Prasruta is spreading. So adha cha urdhvam. Adha means down. Urdhvam. So its branches are spread above and below. And guna pravruddha. They are nourished by the gunas. Vishayaha pravalaha. With Vishaya means sense objects as its buds or shoots of this branch. We'll see it's very deep. It has got a very deep meaning. Then adhascha mulani anusantatani. In addition to that, it also has some roots below. First he described there is a root above. Now he's talking about it also stretches below also in the human world. It has set for the roots which initiate action. So every part of the plant, this tree, is compared to the human tendencies. The parts of this tree we used to, draw when we were small. If you remember, we used to draw a plant and label its parts, isn't it? That was a very common question we used to get when we were small. So we draw the root, we draw the stem, then we draw the leaves, and then flowers, fruits, everything. So similarly, now he says, this samsara is compared to Ashwatha Vriksha. Vriksha is a tree, Ashwatha. So normally we describe the tree having the root, normal. When you observe, it has got the roots below, and which is a very natural thing. And then there is a trunk. Big trees have a big trunk and its branches and very green, lush leaves, and then fruits if they are there, and its branches everywhere. Now here, samsara is compared to Ashwatha Vriksha, which is upside down. Why they have compared this as upside, a tree which is projected upside down, is because here they say the roots are above. In the samsara, in this world is what you, these materialistic things and the nature. For all this, take everything in totality. What is that from which everything is projected? This universe, let us say, that is nothing but the Parabrahman. So that is higher. Therefore, they have put the roots on top. Urdhva Mula, the roots are up, from where this entire universe is being projected or is being nourished or is being sustained. So they have put up, they want to show that it is at a higher level, higher. Therefore, the roots are up. And from there emerges this huge tree. So this tree has got branches above and below. Above and below are its branches, and its leaves are nothing but the Vedas. So root is Parabrahman. And what are its branches now? We will come to that in the next shloka. So branches are projected above. They go in all the directions. And the leaves which are there on this tree are the Vedas. Now, He also says these branches which are going above and below are nourished by the gunas. They are nourished by the gunas. There is Parabrahman. The leaves are the Vedas. Let us link these three now. The leaves are the Vedas, and the branches are nourished. Branches are appearing. You should understand that. The branches are going based on the gunas. The gunas are nourishing the branches. You can take that branches are gunas only. Consider like that. On these, and how these gunas project, they start from buds, which are nothing but the sense objects. Anything which will make us get attracted to, they appear as the shoots. And when we entertain them, they start growing as branches. Maybe upwards, maybe in the middle, maybe in the lower, depending on the gunas. The type of gunas we have discussed. The higher ones, the middle ones, the lower ones, depending on whatever is the nature of gunas, the branches are directed in this direction. Some are going up, some are in the middle, some are below. And not only that, as the branches go, as these branches are growing, which are nothing but the gunas, what happens is they have to grow. So for that, he says secondary roots start coming downwards into this samsara. We said the root is up, Parabrahman. But there is another group of secondary root, that's a tap root, isn't it? Then from there, there is secondary roots which start creeping downwards, because these roots have to nourish those branches, because from the roots only we are going to get the nourishment, isn't it? So the roots develop enormously, and because our gunas, the sense we get associated with the sense objects, and then that gunas will start developing as branches. For those branches, there should be secondary roots, not the main root. Main root supports through the secondary. Little complex it is. I will elaborate still further. So these secondary roots originate the actions. So what is the meaning of this entire thing, what we have told? So there is one Parabrahman. It has projected the universe. Then what happens is there are branches, and these branches are based on our gunas. Initially, they may be small, like they are appearing from the tree. As the gunas become more and more prominent, they start growing. So now Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic will decide us where the individual or where the Jivatman with that subtle body, where it goes. If that person is evolved, if there are higher qualities, then those are the higher branches in the world, let us say, in the world. And what is this world? This world is what we see. For me, one world, for you, one world. For some other person, whatever world we are seeing is I have projected that world. That means my world is different, your world is. Let us assume that way. In my world, these are all the branches, and these will start growing. Now, let us say I see there is a sense object. So there will be a twig from this tree. There is a small bud or a small shoot, which will grow into a full-fledged branch. So that that shoot or the bud is considered to be a sense object. So what happens is, if I see that there is a nice, villa or something which I want to purchase, very, very nice, I start contemplating. It is there already. Sense object is there. It is already there. Samsara has everything. How much I get associated with that decides the growth of my these branches in my world. So I will get so much involved that I must possess that villa, and I must own it. I must furnish it. I must show off. I must develop. I must make it double story, triple story, all that. My mind will start getting so much, it gets so much involved, so much attached to that. Day and night, I'll start thinking. So this, my guna, Rajasika guna, will start becoming very, very prominent. And along with that, once I develop that desire, then there will be the obstacles because of which I may get angry, Or somebody may say, no, no, there is a better one, another gated community is there. Why do you still I will develop greed for that? I will start arranging money. I will start getting money. I'll start arranging money from all kinds of sources because I'm so much attached to that. I must get that possess that at any cost. So how will I arrange money? I may go in the ethical way. I may go in the unethical way. That doesn't matter to me. I want that villa at any cost. So the branches start growing like that. That is nourished by this guna. Sense object was that. Object did not do anything to me. My attachment to that started developing my guna so much, these branches will start growing. And then what happens is, because that branch is growing, the branch needs nourishment. So there are leaves and there are roots in any plant. The roots are what? The roots will provide. Roots means that Parabrahman reflects everything. But here, for the samsara vriksha, Parabrahman and Prakriti, we are talking about both of them. We will, at the moment, for some time, we will forget those roots. When this starts developing, this Icha, Guna, everything, the secondary roots start developing as actions, karma, I start doing. That is my mindset, is I want to do this. And then my karmendriya will start acting accordingly. It will start working for long hours. It will start taking extra hours. It will start charging more for something which I do. So like that, that karma. So they also, that those roots develop as actions, branches develop as gunas. And now this is how it happens. Now in between, there are leaves also. See, for any tree, the roots will take the water and everything, the nutrients. But the leaves prepare the food, isn't it? And from the leaf, we get food for the remaining part of the tree or plant. Likewise, here they compare the Vedas, which prepare or which will guide. In spite of this desire, gunas, roots, karma, there is also something called as Vedas. So Vedas become the leaves, which will nourish, which will provide directions. So these Vedas are having two aspects. One is called Karma Kanda, another one is called Jnana Kanda. So the Karma Kanda describes all the yajnas, tapas, rituals, because if I want to achieve something, then it will say you can do Rajasuya Yajna for acquiring the other kingdoms. Putra Kameshti Yajna you do. If you want for property, there's one more Yajna. So they will suggest you do this, you do that, you will get property. You do this Homa, you will get. Like that, so many rituals are given in Vedas, which people do, and it will succeed because you will invoke particular Devatas and also God. Parabrahman, not Parabrahman, we will usually use a Saguna Brahman for that. So when we develop that, no, to some extent, it will give, they say we have four Purushartha, no? What is that? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Four things we have to achieve. But this Karma Kanda of Vedas will talk about how to achieve money, Artha, and Kama, desires, dharma, how to live in a proper religious way, or without disturbing others, following your own dharma, your own routine. So these three things, it will nourish, but it will not curb your desires. It will tell you how to fulfill your desires, which devatas you can do, and all that. Before starting, I should have told this. Reference is Swami Ranganatha Anandaji and Swami Aparajita Anandaji from Chinmaya Mission. So so people will start following that. However, we cannot. Many times we tell, no, rituals are not good rituals, but it is not good for people who want to go deep into the knowledge. This is seen in very handful of people. Majority of the people, what do they want? They want to enjoy this worldly life. So when they don't get, they will start finding resources, and Vedas is one of the very good resource for nourishing them and fulfilling their desire. That Karma Kanda will tell what you should do for what you need. Whatever desires you want, there's a solution for everything, and it will get fulfilled. However, it is also said that when people start following this, regularly, when they start doing, it will also help them to bind or connect with God. It's not that bad. And it may not be meant for people who get into this exploratory, understand moksha. Not, I mean, it's not for them, but for beginners, definitely. Because sometimes, no, you need to have some comforts. Only then mind will start thinking of adhyatma, spirituality and all that. ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತಂತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವೊಬ್ರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So what happens is the Vedas will help that way. So there is a sense object, and our gunas will see which sense object. Supposing the sense object is Bhagavad Gita class, Bhagavad Gita reading. I get so much attracted to read so many Vedas books and so many Upanishads and Vedas, listen to nice YouTube lectures, which will help me to become more sattvic. That also is one guna where the branches are going upwards. Supposing I want to do, as I said, achieve, get possession, that, this, active, adu martini, idu martini. Adu sense object. There is a calling. There is a sense object. There is a, as I said, villa, car, adu, idu. Rajasika gunavage, madhyadalli ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ branch. I get into, acquiring all the power. I don't mind, taking lives of people. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I want to grow rich. I will kill somebody. I will murder. Tamasikavagi adu ಕೆಳಗಡೆ. These are described as lokas. Actually, the branches extend across all the lokas. Lokas means worlds, physical and mental, internal, microcosm, macrocosm. Both we have to consider when we describe these worlds. Andre, there is a Prithvi, Bhuloka, then Bhuvarloka, like that, 7 worlds above. And then we have 7 worlds below. Patala Loka is the least, lowest. Mele Brahmaloka or Satyaloka is the highest. So depending on our attachment to the, what type of attachment to which sense objects we get attached. Good things, selfless service, andre Satyaloka, we may go up to Satyaloka, up to. It need not necessarily mean you are going to Satyaloka. If you do horrible things, then you will go down. So like that, these branches are described as to be existing in different worlds. The hierarchy is defined by our attachment to sense objects. How much is my attachment, and to which sense object is my attachment? To what I get attracted to, what gives me happiness. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ಸಾಯಿಸಿ ನಾನು ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗುವಂತ, ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ನರಿಶ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. Even see, Hiranyakashipu, we described in the Bhagavad class, no? Hiranyakashipu, what happened? Bhagavad, Brahma gave him boon, no? He did that. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಇದಾಯ್ತು, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಆಗೋದು ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ರೀಇನ್ಕಾರ್ನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಜಯ ವಿಜಯ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. But he suffered. But if you have that kind of sense object, that kind of attraction, that also will be nourished by the roots, and accordingly your actions will become deeper and deeper. Andre, you must understand this. This is a little deep. So it is described as Ashwatha Vriksha, and it is one more thing is first shloka says avyaya. Avyaya, Ashwatha means ashwatha. Shwatha means tomorrow. Swat is tomorrow. Aswat means there is no tomorrow. That means whatever is there today, it will not be there tomorrow. That means it is impermanent. What is impermanent? Samsara is ever changing. Samsara is ever changing, and this change is avyaya. This change will not reduce. Change will always, there is change. The only thing, what may be today will not be there tomorrow. That means the miseries will not end, not only in this birth. Even it will, if you take birth, next birth also, it will continue. So this Ashwatha Vriksha is defined, samsara is defined by the analogy, by giving analogy of Ashwatha Vriksha. That means it goes on growing as branches. Depending on your attachment, the direction of the branches are there. And if you take help, I mean, if you allow, this is nourished by the Vedas also. For those who are little less matured, Karma Kanda will ask you to do a lot of rituals and get whatever you want. Ask, you will get. Ask, you will get. But what happens? Again, the action, this action also will grow as a root, and it becomes a vasana. That means accumulated desire bandbirtade. On the contrary, the Vedas also have a Jnana Kanda. Vedas also have a Jnana Kanda. In that comes the Upanishads. So there, if you follow that, those guidelines, then you will say, this is not what I want. I want liberation. I want to go to higher lokas, jnana lokas. I must get wisdom. I'm done with these. And when a person starts thinking, then the jnana kanda, Vedas as jnana kanda, section of Vedas called jnana kanda, will help such people to evolve. So this is described, and it is avyaya. That means the samsara vriksha is never ending. This will never end. As long as we have desires, as long as we are attached, it will continue. And it is a swatha. As I said, it is not, there is no, or ever changing. There is no tomorrow for what has existed today. So this is, and this people who understand samsara in this manner actually knows the Vedas. Veda Pandit andre yaru andre who understands this, who knows that Parabrahman is there and much more is there. Few further shlokas. Who knows that Parabrahman is there, Vedas are there. It's up to me to choose Jnana Kanda or Karma Kanda. It's up to me to go down or to go to the Brahma Loka. And more I get attached, more it becomes deep rooted. My vasanas, my attachments, my subconscious impressions, they are called. I want that, I want that, I want that. And each janmakku irtade, next janmakku irtade, other next janm, because you are desiring, you'll be born, you are desiring, it will go in a continuous manner. So there is no end for this samsara. But he says then, adascha urdhvam prasrutaha tasya shakha. We discussed this, branches above and below, and based on the gunas and sense objects as buds, and the secondary roots are originate as actions. Actions are nothing but the secondary root. More and more actions, more and more actions, and actions only will bind us. So you must understand from this shloka, these two shlokas, that there are Vedas, there are Upanishads. We must little bit grow and become less attached. He gives the next shlokadal here. And then first we must understand this is what it is. Oh, my world is like this. I am developing branches like this. And more attachment, more my roots are there. It becomes very difficult for me to deroot myself from this world if I aspire more and more. Next. न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिः न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम् यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता पुराणी. Words are little deeper. So its form here is not understood as such, neither its form here, Ashwattha Vriksha, illi means by common man. One cannot understand. Na rupam asyeha tathopalabhyate. One cannot, its form is not perceived. And na anta na cha adihi. No, neither its end nor its origin. When did this samsara vriksha start? We don't know. We don't know the beginning. We don't know when it will end. But he gives a solution also. Ashwatthaменam suvirudha moolam. Having suvirudha moolam. Ashwatham enam. This is Ashwatha, which has got suvirudha moolam, deep rooted, firm rooted plant it is. Firm rooted plant. A tree. You can cut it, but with strong acts of non-attachment, you can cut it. So if you do not want this world, to be in this world, to be born again and again in your world, the same world comes to us next time also, because we have the same gunas, we have the same tendencies. So similar world will come to us in the next birth also. We have discussed that. Mattu ade misery, dukhalaya anta heltare. Miseries will never end. Never ending miseries. Only the form will be different. Form will be different. Otherwise, nature of problems will be different. Problems will never end because our desires will never end, because we are drawn, because the Prakriti is like that. If we understand like this, which does not have its beginning nor its end, it's not easy to understand. But if you cut it with a strong axe of non attachment, then the goal is to be sought for. Then that after that, cut that uh, Ashwatha Vriksha with a strong axe. What is that axe? Non attachment. Because we said that bud is what? Sense object, which attracts our eyes, our ears. We like a person, somebody, or a place, or a thing. That is a sense object. So that we have to withdraw with awareness. So after that, then that goal is to be sought for. One is you detach with that. Then he says, that goal is to be sought for. Tataha padam tat parimargitavyam. That goal is to be sought for. That is the ultimate we are talking. This is the highest, okay? This is the highest goal we are talking about. You may say, why so much of in-depth, discussion about moksha? But Gita is all about moksha only. Gita will not talk about values. It assumes that we are aware of values and ethics. We are going towards permanent solution for suffering. Moksha is what? Permanent solution for suffering. We have had enough anta ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದವರು ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. So Krishna says, cut that attachment and then seek that goal. Then that goal is to be sought. Tataha padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gata. After reaching where there is no way of returning back. You never return back. And I see tameva chadyam purusham prapadya. You have to say, I seek refuge in that purusha from where the eternal activity and cosmic processes have come up, like this universe. I seek refuge. That means surrender. So Krishna says, this whole samsara vriksha has got deep roots. And because of that, again and again, you will be reborn. You will face that. Then how to get rid of this? You have to cut this tree of samsara with strong acts of non-attachment and non-attachment to the world. Adadmele, then you go within and reach that Parama Purusha, that Supreme Lord, through meditation, through everything. And from where there is no Tameva Chadyam Purusham. Purusha means Prakriti Purusha, Purusha is the supreme, that is Supreme Being. So, Sameva Chadyam Purusham Prapadye, take refuge there. Yatah Pravritti Prasruta Purani, from where all these activities, eternal activities, have come since ancient time. Purani, Prasruta Purani. They have streamed from ancient time. Purani means we never know from where it started. So there are two things. One is you have to develop that non-attachment, and you have to understand the Purusha internal. So with these two, you will cut this tree. You will only reach the roots of Parabrahman. You will only reach the roots. So this world, this type of thinking, not everybody can understand, or not everybody can appreciate it, because it's very deep. The whole spirituality itself is a mystery, actually. Until and unless we are open and we start introspecting and relating it with our life, what all has happened, and we see what is that which is making me sad, what is that which is not making me feel uh, light always. How can I become feel lighter? ಇದು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್, ನೋ, we will think of some solution. To some extent it will go, no problem. Supposing we have had a fever, we will take paracetamol, we may take antibiotics, infection will go, then we are okay. Then you may fall sick again after some time. What will you do? Again you take, again it will go. Will it completely stop from attacking you? No. Similarly, the other challenges in life also, they keep coming. So people who think that it's okay, let it come. No, what is wrong with that? I'm taking augmentin, I'm taking paracetamol once in 3 months. Once in my liver is healthy, kidney is healthy, I don't have to bother at the unknown. We don't have any problem. But some people will start thinking, why at all should I take paracetamol and augmentin? Why should I not see that I don't get them? What is a permanence? Then they will start thinking of lifestyle interventions, so diet, or where I'm going wrong. Maybe my immunity is low. Maybe I should do deep breathing. Maybe I should do that. And then physically we become strong and we start controlling our food habits, our lifestyle, our laziness. We get up and go for yoga. And like that, if we take care of our physical health, then the number of frequency of these infections also will come down, and we see lot of improvement in our quality of life. Exactly similar, because we are trying to reduce it, and slowly, maybe over a period of year, we may not even get. This is a fact actually, and I'm sure most of you would have done that. After you start getting onto physical exercise, diet, and avoid certain things which don't suit you, then triggers are not there. You are happy, you're healthy. Exactly like that, where a person who goes deeper and he says, if I see my life, nothing has happened according to what I wanted. Or it appears that I fulfill this and suddenly something comes. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ತಾನೇ ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿದ್ದೆ, nothing happened. Suddenly, why this problem has come? Like that, when you start thinking, and then you will feel emotional about it, you feel depressed about it, you should go through that. Then you will start thinking, enough is enough. Enough of crying, enough of lamenting, enough of brooding. Whatever position I am, whether I'm married, unmarried, I have a children, I don't have children, my children are alive, sorry to say that they are not there, my children are here, my children are not with me, any situation, I must not get this infection of sorrow. When we start thinking, then is there any solution? Yes, there is. Because all these problems came because we wrongly identified ourselves. We were hypnotized by the samsara. We thought, this is me, this is Pratibha, this is my husband, this is my son, these are my parents, these are my in-laws, this is everything, these are my patient. Patients, really, that is a different thing. Relations, profession, ella identified with this body. The moment we find that we are not what we are thinking, we are something different, avaga we start going to the roots. Slowly, the vasanas, the roots, the secondary roots ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಅವಾಗ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ರೂಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ್. ಅಶ್ವತ್ಥ ವೃಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ secondary roots are all our vasanas, and they are all the mantles which cover our jivatma. So Sukshma Sharira, they're all there as a package. Slowly, when we start thinking, that mantle will break and we go towards. So, ee thara jnana bandaga, then we will achieve that Paramatma, what he's saying. Now he gives direct solutions also, which we have already done. He says, how to reach that now? He says, निर्माणं गुहाजितसङ्गदोषा अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञैः गच्छन्ति अमूढाः पदमव्ययं तत्. So padavavyayam tat, ಹೊರಗಡೆ, how to cut this, how to use that axe. Is it so simple? I am not attached. It's not. It's not. It's not a one approach. He has given multiple things. He says, "Idin mado, idin mado, idin mado." And tell even 6 to 7 approaches he gives. Multi-pronged ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮೋಹ. ಮಾನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ pride. Mana is what? Pride. Sense of ahankar. ಅದು ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. Don't have ego of doing the things. Ego of doing, because it is gunas which is doing. Consciousness is not doing. And I am part of guna. This pratibha is part of that guna only. But I cannot claim pratibha is doing it. No, it is that guna, that whole entity which is doing. So I am not doing. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡಬಾರ್ದು. Anybody insults me also, I should not take it seriously, because guna, that guna is doing. Or even if I react, I should immediately come back and say it was my external guna. I am the pure consciousness. But so Even if you don't want to think in that platform, just say I am not the doer, so it doesn't affect me. Moha, nirmana, and delusion. Don't have delusion. Delusion andre ignorance. Don't have the ignorance that um, this body is mine. Again, moha means when we think this body is mine, that becomes moha. The true knowledge is I am the pure consciousness. Chidananda Rupam, Shivoham, Shivoham. Shiva means Parabrahma. Chidananda, I am actually pure. I am a very pure soul. I am Sat Chit Ananda. I am very, very happy, blissful. It's not even happiness. It's a stage beyond that, blissfulness. So that I am. So why should I worry? I am not this body. Even every time, whenever we remember, we should keep telling this. Jita Sangha dosha, then evil of attachment with the Sangha dosha. Sangha means attachment conquered. So again, coming to that attachment, uh, when we cling to any particular thing, that becomes a attachment. Again, it comes from the body consciousness. I, body, nano, identifying my body, my intelligence. Ad bidbeku. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ let us try to adapt to things. ಇದ್ದೇ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅದ್ದೇ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಬೇಡ. Let me be flexible, adaptable. If I get it, okay. If I don't get it, no. So when we practice these small things, it will lead us to detachment. Practically, I'm saying day to day. From a basic, if we want to start today, if I don't have tea, it's okay. I will manage. Let me learn to live without tea. Let me learn to get up early. Let me learn, even if I get up late also, once in a way, it's okay. ಅದನ್ನೇ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರು. You should not be clinging to that. Then Adhyatma Nitya. Nitya is consistency. Adhyatma is spirituality. Spiritual practices consistently. So no sense of pride, mana, no delusion, moha, and jita sangha, conquering or overpowering the attachment, and consistently practicing spiritual practices, aham brahmasmi ಅನ್ನೋದು, dedicated time for adhyatmic practices, spiritual practices, vinivritta kamaha, giving up the desires, vinivritta kamaha, and adhyatma nitya means as much as possible, keep your mind in the consciousness, keep your mind, detach yourself, withdraw your mind, detach and withdraw your mind, try to be in that state. Another way of doing that is, as we are working also, as we said, become aware, reflect in the end of the day, in the morning, also during the day. How did I react? Observe your mind. That means you are in the consciousness. Actually, yes, you are in that. You will go more and more towards that. Start observing. Did I do this? Was it correct? Should I correct? Okay, I should not have done this. And the next time, if we correct it, then we know that we are being a true witness. So adu dvandvaihi vimukta. Dvandvai is what? Dualities. Like sukha dukkha samjnehi. Like opposites, dualities. Sukha, dukkha, mana, apamana, ninda, stuti. We always get perturbed because of these opposites. Both should be okay. Equanimity, again, like in the previous chapter, equanimity. And gachanti amudhaha, when they become thus undeluded, then padam avyayam tat, they reach that avyaya sthiti. Andre, don't have ahankara. There is lot of repetition in Bhagavad Gita because it is only to remind us, because now we discuss the next minute when we go out, something will challenge, and sometimes we forget what we have learned. So again and again, the Gita repeats this, particularly equanimity. He repeats almost in every chapter, I should say. So we must not have ahankara. We must not have moha. Moha, actually, I can take a little time here. There is one song, Purandaradasaru, Kannada ellarigu bartade ankonಡೇನೆ. Moha can be that delusion because of our attachment. Shishu moha, sati moha. Shishu is attachment to the baby. Oh, my son, my daughter, my daughter. Ashtu attachment, that's the highest actually say. Shishu moha, sati moha, attachment to the wife or to the spouse. Janani janakara moha, attachment to parents. ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪ್ರಿಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, you observe. Shishu moha, sati moha, janani janakara moha means attachment to parents. Janani janaka, mother and father. Rasika bhratara, rasika means lover. Rasika, attachment to the lover. Bhrata means siblings. Rasika Bhratara Moha. Rajamoha. Rajamoha means authority. Shishu Moha, Sati Moha, Janani Janakara Moha, Rasika Bhratara Moha, Rajamoha. I'll sing that paragraph. Shishu Moha, Sati Moha, Janani Janakara Moha, Rasika Bhratara Moha, Rajamoha. Bandhuvargada moha, Dhatri Sorry. This is called Mada. So these are all the mohas. Then comes Mada. Mada andre extraordinary pride because of my position, my sight ಇವೆಲ್ಲ. ಮೋಹದಲ್ಲೂ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ರಿಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್. ಶಿಶು ಮೋಹ, ಸತಿ ಮೋಹ, ಜನನಿ ಜನಕರ ಮೋಹ, ರಸಿಕ ಭ್ರಾತರ ಮೋಹ, ರಾಜಮೋಹ, ಪಶುಮೋಹ, ಭೂಮೋಹ. ಪಶುಮೋಹ, ಭೂಮೋಹ, ಬಂಧುವಾರ್ಗ ಆಸುರಾರೆ ಮಾರೇತೇನು ಕಾಯೋ ಹರಿಯೇ ಭಿನ್ನಹಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಯಿಲ್ಲ ವಯ್ಯ ಅನಂತ ಅಪರಾಧ ಎನ್ನೊಳಗೆ ಭಿನ್ನಹಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾ ಇಲ್ಲವಯ್ಯ ಅನ್ನ ಮದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮದ ಅಖಿಲ ವೈಭವದ ಮದ ಮುನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಯದ ಮದವು ರೂಪ ಮದವು ತನ್ನ ಸತ್ವದ ಮದ ಧಾತ್ರಿವಶದ ಇನ್ನು ತನಗೆ ವೆಂತೆಂಬ ಮದದಿಂದ ಭಿನ್ನಹಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾ ಇಲ್ಲವಯ್ಯ ಅನಂತ ಅಪರಾಧ ಎನ್ನೊಳಗೆ ಈ ಭಿನ್ನಹಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾ ಇಲ್ಲವಯ್ಯ. Two things I described. One was moha. Moha, in this song, Purandaradasa says, because of these mohas which come as obstacles, I did not have time to think about you, because attachment will pull you away from the divinity. So Shishu Moha, Sati Moha, Janani Janakara Moha, all those Moha. Then Pashu Moha, attachment to the animals, Bandhu Varga, relatives. So all these mohas are all causes for delusion. Andre, I'm so happy with these people. How will you remember the divine? Only when you get hurt by these the same people, sometimes you get hurt. Then you will remember. You are ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, they are only hurting me. Avaga you will start searching what has gone wrong. And likewise, mana we told, no, pride of what? Annamada, I've got enough to eat. Arthamada, so much of money. Akhila Vaibhava, luxury, pomp and show, my God, Akhila Vaibhavada mada. Munna Prayada mada. Mada is also due to age. Youth, you see, youngsters, yaar matu kelangila, except few exceptions, like Mallikarjun. Very few people, otherwise, and so Archala. So, Mada, no, the youngsters, it is very, very difficult because that youth plays that role. Those hormones bring that, Akhila Vaibhava, Munna Prayada mada, Rupa mada, beauty. We are so beautiful, Adondara mada. Tanna Sattvada mada, Adhikara, position. Dhatrivashada mada, I own this, Dhatri, I own this part of my land. Innu tanagedurillla vemba madadinda. Mada means like, nobody, I don't care for anybody. Ivella, these all come on the way. This is all this, no? When you start thinking like that, the branches will grow. The leaves also, they will start, you start doing those rituals to own more property, to have more children. Inge adrolage samsara bidbidtive. So he says, get over that. So he has given all this. And he says, Dvandva ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಡ, ಮೋಹ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಡ, ಮದ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಡ, and devote your time for Adhyatma Nitya. Even when we are working throughout the day, students you are. So when you're working throughout the day, no, let the objective or intention be to help so many people to treat so many people without any expectations and surrender. That is most important. So they say Sukha Dukkha Samjnaihi and Dvandve Idaita. Then in the previous shloka only he has told about Purusham Prapadya is surrender. So when you bring these, then they can achieve me anta he says in the fifth shloka. So one more or two more we take and we find out for the day. न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. So on one hand we have cut through this, he has told how to cut this tree of samsara and be one with the Parabrahman. Be Andre, you will be in the same samsara, but you no longer have attachment to the gunas. You no longer have those roots. It is liberation. It is totally, you will not be attached, you will not be perturbed with anything. You will enjoy life. Actually, you will enjoy life in much more better way than what we thought that we would enjoy with luxuries, comforts, and all. No, because it will sack you one day. One day we are going to have a blows with that worldly things. Literally, you know the solution. Let anything happen in my world. I am peaceful. Ad bandbidtadalla, adu horagade jagattu. Now he says, you understand that Parabrahman within. So he's talking about himself, about Purusha, about the Parabrahman. Na tad bhasayate surya. In my abode, that means consciousness, sun does not illumine. Na tad bhasayate suryo. The sun will not illumine my consciousness, me, nor the moon, nor the fire. Suryo, na shashanko, na pavakaha. Neither the sun can illumine me, nor the moon can illumine me, and nor does the fire. Yad gatva, na nivartante. Having reached that state, there is no return. Tat dhama paramam mama. That is my abode. So Krishna is describing where you need to reach. After cutting this samsara, we saw the roots are above. What is the attribute? How is that root described? So there, the sun does not illumine. Why? Because he himself is luminous. The consciousness will illumine the sun. Consciousness will illumine the moon. Consciousness will illumine, bring the fire. So it is the other way around. Sun will not illumine the consciousness. Rather, it is this consciousness, this tattva, this cosmic energy that is illumining everything in this world. Everything. Even the sun gets the brightness from him. And we are all also actually reflecting as we talk. It is the consciousness which is reflecting. As you listen, it is a consciousness which is making you listen. We are not aware of that. Without that, we cannot do. It is through the medium of the ears, the auditory canal, and those brain processing, the speech area, auditory area, everything is true. What illumines, what makes them function, what makes them sustain their functionality. It is the consciousness. Again, I repeat, NIMHANS and all neurosciences departments, even in the West, they are doing a lot of research. From where does actually the processes get their functionality? That means what is the theory of consciousness? And they are doing some scientific research. So he says that this is my abode. And once you come to that, if you reach that, if you understand, if you realize, if you experience, then you will not come back. Then this samsara ends for you. We said there is no beginning, there is no end. As long as we are not wise. If you become matured and if you say, come what may maro goli, whatever this samsara is giving me, hits, blows, insults, let it give. When my origin is pure consciousness, nothing can touch me. I will enjoy what is happening in my own life. We have to reach that state, and I have not reached. I am just telling, this is what I'm understanding. My conviction says, because slowly as you grow, you will start feeling that this has some, it makes some sense. So based on that conviction, I'm saying, but that is how. Once you reach that state, then nothing will perturb and nothing will affect you and your position, your qualification. As I said, whether people are around us, we are alone, nothing will matter because we are always complete. We don't need anything there is no deficiency. There is absolutely no deficiency because we are complete by ourselves. So, Athara, even Upanishad say, Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati ಅಂತ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. I remember this because we had this shloka in our school also. So that consciousness, that state, consciousness means it is not a physical location, geographic area allado. It is within us only. That state, if you reach, so their sun does not illumine, nor the moon, nor the stars, nor these lightnings illumine the truth. What to speak of the fire in the household that shines and the whole world shines after it. By its light, this whole manifested universe is lighted. Entire universe, whatever we are seeing now, not through our eyes, actually it is through the consciousness that they're all getting lit and we are able to see. In fact, one statement is there in one of the commentaries. They say, we are illumining the sun. And I'm not giving the brightness. I'm able to see that because of the light which is coming through me. And from where do I get that light? That is from the consciousness. So last shloka for today, we shall take this. Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manashashthanindriyani prakrutisthani karshati. So now he says, he's talking about himself. So what is that consciousness? Ashwatha Vriksha you have to cut by giving up your pride, moha, all that externally. Now come internally. Somebody has given one nice comparison. They say if you have lot of debts, no, sala ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, you have taken money from here, clear off that debt first. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ don't be without, own some property, then you're safe. So he says clearing the debt is like you are cutting off your mana, apamana, adella madidri. Now you have to stabilize. For that you should go within, understand all these, he's the self-illumined, aham brahmasmi, I am the illuminous person. Idನ್ನ ನಿತ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ, then we are supposed to reach that stage when nothing can affect us. So now Krishna is telling the Parabrahman, he is eternal, that Parabrahman, and that has come to us as Jivatma. How it has come? He says, ishtu dottudide, one portion of that goes as a living soul, and it draws to itself when it comes into this body, gross body, human, as it is created. Quickly it draws the mind and all the sense organs, and therefore it becomes fixed in that. Though I am the pure consciousness, the minute it goes into the body, that's how he has created it. It attracts all the sense organs. If you can conceptualize, fine, but you remember that the consciousness comes to this body when we take birth. Along with that, there is mind, sense organs, and those impressions which we have had in the previous life and the health and. So with that, I think, so then that keeps on behaving the way I behaved in my previous birth. Again, I will react in the same birth. Again, I will get attached. Again, when I leave this body, this Atma, consciousness, Jivatma, it's now called as, because it is in the Jiva. With that subtle body, it leaves this body, goes to another body. Again, it will attract or it will dissolve. That means it may grow or it may become thicker, more attached, more this one. More attachment, more vasanas, number of births will be never ending until the Jiva actually thinks. Until then, there is this again and again cycle of birth and death. So we conclude here. The entire summary of the whole thing is that we must understand that this samsara vriksha, having got exposed to Bhagavad Gita, having got the mind to listen to spirituality, means we would have got attracted to this in our previous birth also, or before that, we never know when it is. So let's make maximum use of this and try to develop all those he said one by one. Let's concentrate. Somebody said how to implement Bhagavad Gita. That Guruji said, you just implement one of it. Entire life you work on. It takes one, may take more than one life. Ahimsa or adveshta, not hating somebody, or not feeling the sense of pride. How difficult it is. It's very difficult. You observe yourself. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್, ಓ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ದೆಮ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ಹಿಮ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ಹರ್. That itself gives ahankar. Unless we are cautious, unless we are cautious, that Maya will, quickly she will put challenge. So immediately we have to uh, withdraw and be observant. But if we do that, then nothing like it. We are going very close to consciousness, being observant, being aware. And as we do that, it will help in our day-to-day activities, especially for the youngsters who have multiple tasks to be done. So everything happens effortlessly and mind becomes very sharp. Quickly you will grasp the things. You will feel, how did I get this intelligence? Without your knowledge, you will start getting solutions. That is how consciousness will start reflecting more and more, because we are following its laws. We start following its laws. Amanitvam, adambitvam, uh, equanimity, sukha bantu, it's okay. Dukha bantu, it's okay. Why? Because in both sukha and dukkha, it is a consciousness which is working. And it will alternate. This is how it is. Neem ka ped is neem ka ped. Aam ka ped is aam ka ped. Can we expect aam ka ped to be like neem or neem to be like mango? No. So the nature has got its own attributes. ಇದು ಹಿಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಹಿಂಗೆ, ಇದು ಹಿಂಗಿತ್ತು, ನೀನ್ ಹಂಗ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. Why did you ever think? Our expectations are like that. If you start expecting from people, never, without any end, one after one expectation, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು expect ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂಗೆ, and you become disappointed. Then if you meet Krishna, he will tell, who asked you to expect? Because it was not meant, that person or that situation was not meant to be like that. Why it was not meant to be? Your own doing, your own karma, your own actions have led you here, your own gunas have worked. So don't expect it, just accept and then keep going and keep reflecting, becoming aware. So these things will take us forward. So that's for today. Any open for discussion? I hope any questions are there. I hope it was simplified. I have tried to make it to the best